So we are going to discuss about in details about the L2P. This is basically a website. This is basically a system which is used in the England for the appraisal of the junior doctors. So if you are started working in the England, definitely you must have received the login details of the L2P from your employer, or you will be going to receive the details of your login from your employer. So what you have to do, link is given in the description. You will click on the link, or you will simply search the l2p.co.uk in the Google, and this page will open in front of you. Here you will enter your hospital email, and then you will enter your password. These login details will be provided by your employer, and you will click on the login button. And once you will click on the login button, so this is the basically main preview of the L2P page. Here you can see, so if this is your first appraisal, this page will open in front of you, current appraisal. And if you have done any other appraisal, so your previous appraisals will be there below the current appraisal. So you can see this is the L2P. Here you can see my appraisal, you can see the multi-source feedback, job plans, HR information, share HR information, and the resources. So one by one you have to click on this link and you have to read. So this is basically my previous appraisal. This was done in the November 2023, and this you can see over here the results reviewed and satisfied. So my previous appraisal was reviewed and satisfied. So if you want to see the previous appraisal, we can click over here. But today we are going to discuss about the new appraisal. So this is our appraisal which will be in the November 2024. So what we have to do over here, we will click on the edit button. So here you can see these are the seven things. These are the seven things which are basically the part of any of the appraisal. So the first thing is appraisal input. So these input, you have to enter these details. You have to enter all these things. These are basically input by the candidate. Okay, we will talk about one by one. So after input all these things, what you will do, you will checklist. So this is checklist for the doctor. So after this, what you will do, after doing the input of all the thing, after doing the checklist, you will submit the appraisal to the appraiser. So what will your appraisal do? Your appraiser will review your inputs, and then you will be there for a appraisal meeting. In the meeting, your appraisal will talk about if you have done the correct entries, if you have done some mistakes or not. So after the meeting is complete, there will be a post meeting scenario. So in the post meeting, what will happen, there will be the agreed professional development plans, post appraisal summary, they will be there, and the appraisal outputs, they will give you a appraisal output report, or they will give you the appraisal report. Okay, so what will happen after this? Appraiser will checklist, and then appraiser will submit the appraisal to the department of the hospital which do the appraisal and the revalidation system. So these are the basically seven steps. So don't worry about the fourth, fifth, sixth, and the seventh steps. You have to do nothing for this. You have to just go for the meeting in the fourth, but nothing to do for the fifth, sixth, and the seventh step. So what you have to do, you have to work just on the step, and you have to do the checklist at the end. So let's go on the first step one by one. So what you will see over here, this is the overview and the quick actions you can see over there. This is the appraiser. No appraiser has been assigned till now for the 2024 appraisal, and you can see this appraisal covered the period of the 1st November 2023 to 31st October 2024. So appraisal meeting is scheduled on the 30th November 2024. We have to submit the appraisal to our appraiser 28 days after meeting, and our revalidation date will be mentioned over here, that is 10th of October 2027. You can see the multi-source feedback and appraisal team contact details as well. Okay, so in the multi-source feedback, there are two things. One is the colleague feedback, and the second is the patient feedback. I have done the colleague feedback in my first appraisal, although this is not necessary, but I did it. And my patient feedback is due by the 1st of April 2026. Okay, not before that. So let's go on the first thing. So the first thing you have to work on is the appraisal input. This is the important thing. You will click on the plus button. So these are the things, almost I think 10 or the 12 things in the appraisal input you have to work on. First thing is the personal details, then there is a scope of work, then there is the previous appraisals, so PDPs, professional development plans and their review, so your well-being, CPD, continuous professional development. Okay, then reviewing your practice, QIA, serious events and the complaints, feedback, multi-source feedback, medical educator achievements and the challenges. Then there is a probity, additional or academic information, PDP themes, summary of the sporting information, and the overall reflections. So these are the things you have to do one by one. So first of all, you will click on the personal details, and what you have to do, you have to enter all your details. You have to enter your name, you have to enter your GMC number, you have to write your address, your contact details, your email address, everything you have to write over there. So at the end, let me tell you one important thing. They are asking about your medical qualification. So you have to enter shortly. I did my MBBS from my college in this year. I did my foundation year in 2019. Then I did PLAB, and then you can write I am working in the United Kingdom in the NHS now. So they are asking about, do you require a second appraiser, for example, a clinical academic under the fellow principles? No. Okay. So after entering the personal details, let's go to the scope of work. Please keep in mind, most of the people get worried what is meant by scope of work. So I will explain the scope of work in your next point. So next point is previous appraisals. So as I have done my previous appraisal, in the October 2023, November 2023. So what you will do, you can see the previous appraisal, October 2022 to October 2023, reviewed and satisfied. Dr. Anna Wuchen was my appraiser. She was a lovely lady. And if you want to see what you want to see, view the appraisal, we can do it. So we are gonna see the appraisal, and I will tell you everything what happened in the first appraisal. Okay, all the personal details are here. After this scope of work, I told you that I will let you know shortly about the scope of work. So here you will see in the section, this is the scope of work, this is the job plan, and this is what you have to do. So basically, scope of work is your contract, your duties mentioned in your contract. So as I worked in the Scotland for initial 6 months, I have mentioned everything. I started as a clinical development fellow in the Scotland in the trauma and orthopedic, but I used to cover the A&E as well. So my duties were included. I have mentioned all my duties. So after this, I have mentioned these things. Okay. So these are the things which you have to mention in your scope of work. So then in the scope of work, what you will do, they will ask you about the organization and the contact details. So you will write from the date you have worked, then you will write the hospital name, and then you will write the HR number and the details. So in the same way, this is my second hospital. I started working in the A&E, and my duties and the responsibilities include. So this is what you have to write in your scope of work, and then you will write the HR detail. So this is your basically what after the personal details, this is your scope of work. So we opened previous appraisal. This is the second appraisal which is going to happen in the 2024. Here the previous appraisal details are given, but if you are doing your first appraisal, so you will see no details of the previous appraisal, because I have done this appraisal in 2023. At that time this was my first appraisal. Okay, so what you will write here, not applicable, there is no previous appraisal to show. Fine. Then we will go on the professional development plans and their review. So if this is your first appraisal, you have to write no, 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 and no. What you will do, you will write, this is my first appraisal and I never had this type of activity in my home country. So no previous professional development plans in the documentation available. Okay, so your appraiser's comments are as well there. Appraisers has written the first appraisal, no previous agreed professional development plans. Okay, so after the professional development plans, we will go on the well-being. So this is very important. Okay, your well-being mean This is the United Kingdom. This is not your country. The working environment is very stressful here. So they are concerned about your well-being as well. Like you are working here, how you are maintaining your well-being. I was not aware of this in my appraisal meeting. My appraisers asked me how you are maintaining your well-being. I was not aware of this question. So I told, then she asked me, do you have any friends here? Do you have any relatives here? So I told my appraiser that yes, I have a lot of friends. I am living with my wife. I am living with my daughter. We have relatives in the London, and the London is just 45 minutes away from here, and we are visiting them regularly. So this is the main thing. So my appraisers told me this is the thing which is necessary for your well-being. So this was the thing which I have written over there. I scored my well-being 9 out of the 10. Okay, you have to score. And then how has the period since your last appraisal impacted you? So I mentioned everything. Basically, this is my first appraisal in the NHS. I came to UK for the PLAB 2 exam, and this is the story which I have written. Whatever your circumstances are, you can write. So the next question is, how have you maintained your health and well-being, and what do you need to wish to do definitely, if anything? I am trying to maintain my health and the well-being. This is the thing which I have written. You can write by your own. So at the end, when there will be a meeting, your appraisers will write a comment. So this is the comment written by my appraiser. Okay, so in this way you will go on. So the next important point is CPD, continuous professional development. What is meant by continuous professional development have you done to keep up to date across the whole of your scope of work? Like what you are doing, if you are learning new things or not. What are the most significant things you have learned, and have you identified any learning needs? So these are the things. So you have to work on these plans. So basically, let me tell you, in the continuous professional development, what you have to do, you have to enter a lot of things here. You will click on the add document. Okay, so you will click on the add document. This page will open in front of you. What you will do, you will click here. So this is the CPD certificate, CPD diary, whatever the plan is. If you have attended some grand round, so you will click on there. So then you will write the title of the activity, for example, management of the emergency cases in the acute settings. Then they will ask about the date. You will have to write the date over there. Okay, and when this ended, so you will write the end of the activity date. After this, document to upload, if you have some certificate or not. If you don't have, leave it. Okay, then you will write the activity of the description. What was the activity, what happened there, and outcomes and the results. If you have learned something, you will write in few points, 2 or 3 points. Okay, then at the end you will select either this was the internal CPD point or the external CPD point. So we will click over here, internal CPD point, how much CPD points, 1 2 3 10, how much you want to take. Okay, after this, what you will do, please tick here to confirm, and then you will save and continue. Then you will save it. So what will happen, it will come in your sporting information like the CPD document, podcast, cardiology, and this was the date and the points over here claimed by you. So this is the thing you will write in this way. Okay, so keep doing. I will shortly update you how you can add the points over here. So if you are working in any of the department, definitely in your department weekly teachings will be ongoing. So how you will do, let's save and add another document. So how you will do, so you will click over here, like you have attended the some teaching in your department. So CPD certificate, let's do CPD certificate. So title of the activity, you will write over here teaching. Okay, whatever the topic of your teaching is, you will write. Then you will write the date. So for example, for the 13th of the Feb, it was also 13th of the Feb. If you have received some certificate, you can get the certificate from the PA of your head of department. Okay, you will upload here, you will write the activity over here, and you will write the outcomes, the learning points here which you have got. This was the internal. Okay, you will write 1 2 or 3, then you will click there and you will save and the add. So keep attending the internal teaching, keep attending the grand rounds in your department. You have to take 30 points in a year. you can easily get this. Okay, and apart from this, if you are teaching some juniors in the department, get a feedback. Just make a feedback form in the Google and share that via the email to your junior colleagues. They will give you a feedback, and you can add over here to get the CPD points. Because this, if you are teaching someone, this is a continuous professional development. You are developing yourself as well. And if you are attending some courses, like if you have attended the ALS course, you can and this was a 2-day course, you can add the ALS course 10 points in the CPD. And if you have attended some courses ongoing in the department, like ECG courses, X-ray courses, ultrasound courses, so you can add a lot of activities up there. I will make a separate video on this topic. Okay, so in this way you will complete your internal and the external point. But keep in mind, if it's the internal, you will select over here. If it's external, you will select over here. Okay, so in this way you will add your continuous professional development, and you have to add 60 CPD points in 1 year time. Okay, so this is important and the easy. So let me show you quickly how I entered in the CPD points. Here you go. So you can see these are all my CPD points, all my CPD points. Okay, so here you can see total I have added 116 points, and my external were 83 and my internal points were 33. Okay, so in this way you can get a lot of points. I did all these points in last 1.5 months, when I get my appraisal meeting date. So in this way, these are your appraisal comments. 116 in the less than 1 year point, 33 internet external, some web based. Okay, the CPD are the relevant to his practice and includes the teaching session, ALS provider course, and the trust mandatory training. So although I haven't mentioned my trust mandatory training over here, you can mention the trust mandatory training as well. So our next point is very important, reviewing your practice. That is QIA. You can see the reviewing your practice. It doesn't mean the quality improvement project. It's mean how you are reviewing your practice. Like when I started in the NHS, I was weak. I have reviewed my practice and I am working to improve my practice day by day or not. So these are the 3 domains. What have you learned from reviewing your practice across the whole of scope of the work? The second one is, what are the most significant things you have changed in your practice? Third point is, what else you want to change? So keeping the 3 points in your mind, you have to write over here. So if you want to read it, you can. I have written this from my practice and how I have improved. So I don't have any supporting information for this, so no document uploaded. Okay, and apart from this, my appraiser has given the comment. Here we go. Let me tell you how you will write. So reviewing your practice, you will come over here. So you will write here. If you have any documents, add it. If you don't have any document, then you will don't upload the document. What you have to do after the reviewing the practice, we will go the next point. Next point is serious events and the complaints. If there are any serious events or the complaints against you during the practice, you have to write over here. So if there is no, then you will select the no and you will save and continue. So here you can say no documents uploaded and the appraiser has written no significant events declared. So after this is the feedback, multi-source feedback. This is not important for every appraisal. Okay, so in the start you can see over there is a multi-source feedback. This is a little bit different. I will update you later on, but here this is the feedback. This feedback mean if you are doing teachings, if you are doing some courses, you have the certificate, you have to upload here. So here you can see this is the feedback, and you have what have you learned from the unsocialized and the socialized feedback. Okay, what you have learned, you will write here. What have you changed and all the things you have. So you can see I have mentioned all my feedback over there, and then I have uploaded some things over there. So responsible officer, you will write responsible officer mean your hospital. Certificate of excellence, it was given in this year. Then this is the responsible officer mean, and all these are the basically supporting information. If you want to see, you can. So here you go, my appraiser has written no multi-source feedback exercise completed in the past year. He has a positive feedback on his YouTube teaching and everything. My appraiser has written over there. So let me show you how you can add this. This is the multi-source feedback. If you want to go add a document, what you will do, first of all, you will select on the type of activity. So this is the colleague feedback, complaint. This is the feedback from the clinical supervision, teaching and the training. So what is this? You will write over here. So I will select on the responsible officer. So then you will write the type of activity, what was the activity. So if this is a teaching, you will write over here, and in this way you will write. So in this way you can add the feedback of your teachings and anything what you have. So after this, the next point is magical educator. This is the note point for you. If you are in your first appraisal or the second appraisal, if you are not given some role by the trust as a medical educator, so you have to do no and not in the position of the educator role. This is the feedback by the appraiser. So the next important thing is achievements and the challenges. You will select over there achievements and the challenges. So you will read this, and they're asking about the achievements, challenges, and the aspirations during your work. So these are the basically achievements and the challenges. You will write over here what you have do till now. So I have written that I came here. This is my first job. This was very stressful. This and that. Then I have written in my initial 6 months. I have done the UK driving license. I have done the ALS course. I have learned how to tackle the pressure and manage the emergency cases. So all these things I have written. So after this, these are my aspiration. Getting the training into one of the best healthcare system in the United Kingdom is my dream. When my supervisor appraiser read these lines, and she was laughing, So after this, if you have any supporting information, you can upload, otherwise no need. So these are my appraiser comments. If you want to read, you can. So these are basically achievements and the challenges. So the next point is probity. So basically, this is the declaration. I declare that I accept the professional obligations and everything of the good medical practice. I confirm the declaration. So after this, I have nothing to declare. Okay, let me show you here. It will be clear for you. So here I will click over there. I have nothing to declare. Okay, then you can add the document. Then they are asking about the medical indemnity. This is very important point. So before going for your appraisal, you should have a medical indemnity. You will click on the add document, and here job title is medical indemnity. Title of the activity, you will write what is the title of activity. So let me show you. I have written the medical indemnity. Type is the medical indemnity certificate. Title is the confirmation of the medical indemnity details, full details of the overleaf I have written. So 6 October to 6 October 2024 is the medical indemnity cover. Okay, then you will write over there, and this is the your appraiser comment. She has written no probity concerns, medical indemnity certificate attached. Okay, so after the probity, what we have to do, additional academic informations. Okay, so there is no additional academic information over there. I have not written anything. Then there is a supporting information. Yes, I can write. What is this? I have written in the additional academic information. I have written about the additional information, mandatory training, all mandatory training courses, and I have written the date, and all these things are there. Let me show you here. So these are the additional academic information. So if you want to write something over here, you can write. Otherwise, what you can do, so you can write in the supporting information. You can upload the mandatory training certificates and everything. Okay, so after doing this, what you will do, in here you can write the academic appraisals, teaching, researches, and the membership and the innovation. You can upload here. You can upload in your CPD wherever you want. You can, like, if you have cleared some MSRA exam, you can write over here. You can upload there as well. So I uploaded my the mandatory training over there in the additional academic information. So after this, these are the professional development plans. When you will be in the appraisal meeting, your appraiser will discuss with you your development plans in the future. Not in the future, in the next 1 year. So I have I agreed on the 4 development plan with my professional development plans with my appraiser. The first one is participation in the clinical audit. Second one, I will appear in the MSRA exam. The third one is the pediatric experience during the current job. Fourth one is to go for the X-ray and the ultrasound courses are once available. So please keep in mind, don't go for the complicated professional development plans in 1 year time. don't go far. So this is the documentation. You have to do it in 1 year. Okay, if you will not do this, will create a negative impression. It's always good to complete this professional development plan which you have agreed with your appraiser. Okay, if you're unable to do it, can create a negative impression, but it doesn't mean you have to go only for these 4 things. You can do whatever you want. You can achieve a lot of things, and if you will achieve a lot of things without the plan, this is a very good impression for you. Okay, so after this we will go for the summary of the supporting information. So these are all the supporting information you can see with which I have uploaded. And the next point is overall reflection. So overall reflection, what you have to do pre-appraisal preparation and the reflection. So you have to write the reflection keeping in view the 4 domains of the good medical practice. Copy paste these 4 domains from the Google and write some points on these 4 domains of the good medical practice. So I have written this. So guys, in this way, these are the points in the appraisal inputs. You have to add everything over here. Okay guys, so after entering all the details in the appraisal input, so I told you this was basically the first step appraisal input. This was the first step of the L2P appraisal system. Now we are left with second, third, fourth, 5, 6 and 7th step. And I told you, you have to do only first 3 steps. So we have done with the appraisal inputs now. So the second important thing is doctor's checklist. You will click on the checklist before going for the appraisal, and you have to do yes, relevant. These are the scope of your work. Then professional development plan, you will keep reading and you will do relevant, not relevant, yes or no. Okay, so then review your practice, then serious events and the complaints, then there is a feedback, then there is a medical educator. So all these things are in basically in the doctor checklist are related to your inputs. Okay, these are basically related to your inputs which you have done. So you will do the doctor's checklist in your appraisal, and after doing the doctor's checklist, the third thing which is important is you have to submit your appraisal. So first you will input the details, you will upload the certificate and the things, you will do the appraisal input, then you will do the doctor checklist, and then you will submit your appraisal to the appraiser. Okay, so he is asking, I confirm that I have completed this form and completed the supporting information. I confirm the above statement, and then what you will do, you will submit the appraisal to your appraiser. Let me show you how you will do. So you will click over here, submit to appraiser. Okay, and you will click on the declaration, yes I have done, and then you will save. Okay, so in this way, this is the important. So after this, you have done the inputs, you have done the checklist, you have submitted the appraisal to the appraiser. The fourth important point is appraisal meeting. Okay, you can check your appraisal meeting details over there as well. So when you will click on the appraisal meeting, so meeting held on, you will see the date of your oncoming meeting. So my meeting held on the Friday 10th November 2023. Okay, so what happened after the meeting? So you can click on the 5th point, that is the post meeting. So after the post meeting, you have to do nothing. Your appraiser will be agreed on your professional development plan, and they will write a summary and they will write an appraisal output which is called as the appraisal report. So after writing the appraisal report, you will get a copy of the appraisal report, and your appraiser will do the checklist. These are basically not the things you have to worry about, your appraiser will do. So after doing the checklist, your appraiser will submit the appraisal to the hospital department of the revalidation and the appraisal, and then they will check it, and in the meantime you can get a report as well. So guys, these are the basically 7 points which I told you. So now we have completed the 7 points, and if you have completed, your appraisal is done. So you have to worry about 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have done my appraisal now. So let's go to the multi-source feedback. This is the second point. If you want, so you will see over here, you can see the patient multi-source feedback. Your patient multi-source feedback due to be completed by the 2026. For your first appraisal, it will be coming over here as well for the multi-source feedback, but I requested them, so this is the reason they have given me this in the 2023. So normally for the first appraisal, there is no need to go for the multi-source feedback. And these are the jobs plans over there, you have to do nothing. And these are the HR information, you have to update the HR information here before going for the appraisal. These are the share HR information, and these are the resources. So basically you have to work on the my appraisal. So here this is my current appraisal. I am going on the November 2024, and this is in the progress. Okay, so in this way, doctor boys and the girls and the doctors, this is the L2P system of the appraisal being followed in the England. Basically, as I told you in my previous video, in the Scotland they follow the TROS system. I tried to do that. This was really difficult for me, and I am not even aware of that TROS system. I'm sorry for that, but this is the L2P system. That is very simple. If you have any further questions, you can ask me in the comment box. And yes, related to this point, let me explain you once more. Related to CPD points, I will make a separate video and I will update you how you can collect the 60 points in a very short time. Okay, take care. Thank you very much for watching the video.